Okay. Right now, I'm going to be responding to this gang stalking video. And let me see real quick. That someone had made. Right now, I can't move it over, but I'm just going to go ahead and listen to what he's saying. And then we'll get started. Hold on 1 second. It just, okay. So basically, what's going on is I don't know if you guys believe in the whole gang stalking thing. I'm gonna start over because I want to get his thing loaded so that I can see him right now. Might be being gang stalked right now because I can't. It's not letting me move it over. Not letting me do anything. So, okay. Now it's letting me do it. So, let me just type it in. Because I feel like the reason why I'm doing this video is because I feel like I've definitely been been harassed, gang stalked, like a lot, and it's frustrating me. It's like it's so annoying. And what this guy is basically saying is that when you are a child of God, that these type of things, these type of things basically happen to you. So here he is, and let me see. Gang stalking, evil spirits, sent to watch you by Joey. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this video, and as he's talking, I'm going to kind of reference to what he's saying. It's like 8 minutes and 23 seconds long. So, and then I'm going to try to do like a split video where it's corresponding with what he's saying. He said that he was confused about what gang stalking was, but now he understands what it is. So I feel like the more that you go through it, the more you recognize exactly what it is. And that's probably what happened with him. So let's get to the point. Okay. So basically, he was saying that this could happen to a lot of people. He says that a lot of people, let's just stop right here. He says a lot of people are spiritual and they don't know that they're spiritual. But for me, I feel like I'm a spiritual person. I know that I'm a spiritual person, and there's like pretty much no debate about that. So as far as that's concerned, we're good with that. So I feel like I know that I'm a child of God. So he's basically saying once you know that you're a child of God, that these things are going to attack you. And I feel like he's 100% sure of that because he's probably gone through that just like I have gone through that. It's like basically what happens is say you're about to get ready to leave the house, right? You're about to get ready to leave the house. And then all of a sudden, like you see other people moving with you with the time. Like you see all these people coming outside, it's like they're moving at the same time that you're moving. At first they weren't doing anything. They weren't doing anything. But as soon as you get ready to do something, now they're doing something. Or for instance, like he's saying they can come in all shapes, forms, and fashions. It could be the police, it could be your friends, it could be anybody really. So for instance, I'm gonna use the police because that's how I feel, and that's one thing that I feel like is attacking me. I feel like the devil is working through police officers to really attack me right now. Like every time I leave the house, I feel like one of them is outside, like they're watching me when inside the house. Like when I'm leaving the house, it's like they're there. When I go to the gas station, it's like they know what gas station I'm going to, and they're there. Sometimes even when I go to the store, they're there. I go for a job interview and they go through the parking lot and then they leave out real quick while I'm getting ready to leave. If I decide, oh, I'm not going to go to that gas station because they're there, they're like somebody parked two buildings down at a building and there's another police officer sitting there. It's like, if I turn, I'm like, I don't want you following me. So I turn and I go to a fast food restaurant. Then they end up going to a fast food restaurant. It's like, my eye looks really lazy right now in here. It's like, what are the chances that you really see them doing that? First of all, I hardly ever see them go to fast food restaurants. I hardly ever see them go inside and go to stores or the bank. I hardly ever see them going to gas stations, but it's like when I'm around and when I get out the house, they're around. Like today, I'm saying, I bind the devil, God, bind the devil, bind the devil. And it's like the more that I say, God, do this, it's like they just start coming around. And it's so weird because you would think that when you're saying, bind the devil, get them rid of me, get them away from me, that they would leave you alone, but it's like they're trying to almost act like you're the devil. Like, what are they trying to do? Bind you or something? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. So it's like I've noticed that, like last night, I was like, they have one more chance to mess with me, one more chance to harass me, and I'm gonna like file a police report on the police, but who does that? You know what I'm saying? But that's exactly how I feel. It's like they're trying to trap you, like make you feel like you have no outlet, you have no escape, you have no one to turn to because they're supposed to serve and protect you. But if they're trying to like entrap you and distress you, you're gonna feel the total opposite. And then if you're calling those people who deal with those same people, more than likely they're just gonna be like, okay, they're not really going to try to help you. They're going to be against you because they work with those people. That's just like common sense. So I noticed like I would go to the grocery store. It seemed like one of these neighbors was stalking me and watching me or something. Like every time I would go to the store, it would be a police officer there. One time a police officer was just like pulling in, and when they saw me leave, they just stopped, like, in their tracks, like, they know that they're looking for me and they're after me, and I'm like, "How could you be looking for me, and how are you after me? And then who's giving you information that you would be looking for me?" It's, like, really weird. It's like somebody's got a video recorder in this house, and they're watching everything I'm doing, and they're watching me when I'm getting ready to leave and everything. Like, sometimes I'll leave and then, like, the police will circle around, like, yeah, we have police officers that are supposed to be patrolling this neighborhood. They're called, like, bike police, but they're never on bikes. They're always in cars. But it's just, like, the timing. The timing is everything. Like, when someone's casually driving around, you can tell the difference. It's at certain times, but when it's like always when you're leaving, it's almost feels like they're harassing you and they're trying to distress you and play some type of psychological mind control game on you. So that's why I decided to make this video. And I mean, I don't have time to like get in it with the police and all that because I feel like I feel like I'm a beautiful person. I feel like I have a lot, going for myself. I have gifts and talents. I have a degree. So there's no reason for me to just be speaking out about something if it's not true. So basically, I'm gonna listen to what this guy's saying some more. And gang stalking, to me, he said, what does that mean? To me, before he starts, it's like when an organization, a team of people, like they know something that you don't know, like that they're all in this conspiracy to follow you, to bother you, to like manipulate you. Say like you go to you, especially people who have constant patterns. Like if you're the type of person who always goes to this food place. It's like your favorite food place, and you only go to like maybe two or three food places on your street. So they know exactly when you're getting ready. Oh, they're probably going to go to one of these two or three food places. So they start putting people in place. They put, like, say right now you're upset with football players. Let's just make up something. I love football players or nurses because I had an incident with a nurse that injected me against my will. So let's say that you have an incident with a nurse. So then they'll start putting them everywhere you go. Like you'll go to a fast food place, the chicken place, and then they'll have like nurses everywhere. Like two or three nurses will come in at the same time. Like it's just absolutely weird as crap. Like, I believe in the law of attraction, but I don't believe in it that much. I believe that there's a difference between the law of attraction and people just setting you up and trying to mind control you. Now, how people are just coming up, I don't know. It's gotten to the point where I think people are robots and they're just like fake because I don't see how they're showing up so constant. Or it's like a military of people that are just waiting on guard to perform whatever act somebody is telling them to perform. So, I mean, I'm like, does anybody else know what's going on out here? Is that happening to anybody else? Or, for instance, like you get sick and you're trying to get better, but it's like if you give a sign that I don't really feel too good right now, then they'll start having ambulances around you all the time. Or you feel like, oh, I feel like somebody's food poisoning me at these places or something. So every time you go get something to eat, they'll have like an ambulance drive by, "Rah, rah, rah, rah," just like to psychologically make you think of that again, almost like every single time, and it almost feels like a code too. Like it'll be like ran, 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 and then it'll stop, and then you're like, "Well, I know they haven't gone to their destination yet, so when are they gonna start the sirens up again?" And you never hear them come up again. They just like disappear. Like it starts for, and then it lasts for about 15 seconds, and then it like completely disappears, and everybody knows that's really not how the ambulance works. Or another thing that feels like mind control is like, okay, there's like somebody in the neighborhood and they have this car and it's like, vroom, you know those cars that really they really make like a race car type sound. Like every time you wake up or every time you get ready to go somewhere, it's like vroom, vroom, like almost exactly on time when you wake up or something. Or say like you're about to go to sleep and every time you're about to go to sleep, the train is like choo, choo, choo every single time. Then it's like something's trying to mind control you. So to me, that's like what gang stalking is. It's like something that you would explain to somebody else, and at first they would be like, dude, that's weird. Are you okay? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's there to make you look crazy on purpose because they probably aren't doing it to the average person. I mean, to like, what I mean by the average person is like to everybody. And then everybody is not recognizing that type of thing. And most people aren't even tuned in to see those type of things. They're not spiritually aware. They don't have their third eye open. And most people are involved with their daily lives, just going to work, trying to relax and things like that. But people who have more time off, more free time, their third eye can be open to a higher degree because now they're paying attention to other things around them besides their job and taking care of the kids and making food for their husband or wife or whatever you may be doing in life. So to me, I feel like it's really hard for that person who's going through it because it's almost like you're by yourself. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's other people that do understand you, but those people, when you find them, you're like so excited because it's rare. And it's almost like you have to form a group of those people who understand what you're going through because everybody's not going through it. It almost feels like there's a neighborhood of people conspiring against you. Like you're this one person and everybody knows what the secret is and they're like trying to attack you like little demons. Like you're the little sheep, oh, and then like they're like the wolves and they're like trying to come in on you and hoping like you don't know what they're doing. But when you're so intuitive and like God is showing you all these things, you're very sensitive to it and you see it happening. So you want to share it with people. Some people might think you're crazy, but you're not crazy. You're seeing exactly what's going on, and that's what makes it so difficult to deal with. So back to what he's saying, he's trying to say that it's not necessarily that human being that, people are sometimes possessed by demons or the evil forces are sending these spirits into these people. To me, that doesn't matter. To me, it's like, if you're an evil person, you make way for the devil to enter you. And the devil knows who it can, hold the space into. So like if you're an evil person, the devil knows, or if you're more prone to be evil or you're more prone to be tempted, you're more prone not to fight the devil off. The devil knows that, they can be a picture in your canvas. You're a resting place for them. Opposed to someone who's talking about the word of God, they're spiritual, they strive to be righteous, they don't want to harm other people. The devil knows there's not a resting place in those people. So for me, it's like 50-50. Like, yeah, I understand. Some people go through things and maybe the devil's attacking them and the devil's working through them. But then the other 50% is saying these people have to be somewhat aware of what's going on and they have to be able to have some type of discipline against what the devil is doing. Because if that was the case with everybody, I mean, it would just be a really, really horrible place full of weak people who couldn't control their actions. And there's really no excuse for that. So he's saying that these spirits take over you and they watch your every move. They stalk you, yeah. And it's really creepy because then it develops another psychological issue because it's like, how how are you watching me so close? Like, what are you doing? You have a video recorder in my house? Like, how far are you going? What are you watching? Like, then you start thinking of like these perversion things. Like, you're a pervert? You're sexually harassing me. I don't care if you're a woman or a guy. I don't care what you are. It's weird. Like, you're watching me put on my clothes. You're watching me get dressed. You're watching me gather my things together before I leave, so that you could go ahead and set your things up and get in place. You're watching my patterns to the utmost degree so that you can like basketball or like football, so you can plan and plot what move you're gonna make next. Like if you have a job, what are you doing on your job? Or is this is your second job, or you're not even doing your job. You're involved in doing other things. So and he said these people come in all shapes, sizes, and forms. People, students, doctors, nurses, I mean, anything. I absolutely agree with that. So he's saying he's going to give us clarification about what's going on. Or he's saying that where they're always saying some evil things about you or evil things towards you. For me, it's like, yeah, they'll try to give you subliminal signs. Like they'll try to put symbols in your face that are disrespectful, or they'll try to like even with the radio or the TV. Like they'll try it almost feels like they're literally watching you and they're saying certain things like straight towards you to be disrespectful. And if it's really something that they're doing where they're targeting certain people, everybody's not gonna understand it. They're just gonna think you're psycho, something's wrong with you because they're not doing this to everybody. They're only doing it to certain people. And the reason why I think they do it to certain people is because they feel like certain people are influential. Certain people, if people heard what they had to say, they might say, I agree with you. What you're saying sounds very intellectual. Or you might persuade them to open up their minds and think on a different level where that's opening up your third eye and you're becoming more aware of things that you weren't aware of at first. So he said that somebody you could be in your car and somebody will take a picture of you and you're like, what are they taking a picture of you for? I feel like, yeah, and it's really annoying because you want to say something back, but at the same time something tells you, is this just a way that these people are trying to get in your life? They're trying to get on your nerves. They're making you sick. They're trying to manifest the thoughts in your head about them just so you can sit there and talk about them and what they're doing to you. Because God said, dwell on all that's good. And you could be dwelling on so many other things, but they're distressing you and constantly causing you to have to vent and have to talk about these issues. Is this a distraction of the devil? So that it'll keep you unfocused. Like you could be creating something new, something better for yourself. You could be creating avenues for money, but instead you're sitting here venting about something that somebody evil or somebody who's possessed with evil, what they're doing. Anytime somebody's doing that, they're getting you out of alignment with God. And you know that that's true because the word says to dwell on all that is good. And also that healing words, are good and it's like giving somebody good health. Good words are like healing words, are like a good healing for the body. So if you have to constantly talk about all this that somebody's doing and that it's almost like a setup to make you sick. So let's keep hearing what he's saying. They're watching you, the demons. The demons are watching you because they're afraid of you. It's spiritual warfare. Okay, right. So he's saying that they're watching you because they're afraid of you. And it's spiritual warfare. So basically the thing you wanna think about is okay, if these people are scared of me, they're not that scared of me because they're staying close enough to me. So then you think, well, what are they gonna be trying to do to me? Because, I mean, most of the time when somebody doesn't like you or they're afraid of you, they usually try to do something bad to you. So if they feel like they can, and I mean, there to me, if you're really afraid of somebody, I would say you stay away from them. I would say you don't encounter them. You don't try to get closer to them. You don't provoke them to be angry or to be upset. So, I mean, I don't know if it's like they're really scared of you or they're really trying to agitate you so that you can get upset and then do something to where they have some type of control or power over you. Like for instance, if it's a police officer is a really good example because if you get angry because you know these people are stalking you and they're following you and it's like they know when you're coming out of your house and all this and that, you might go outside and get really upset and angry, the reasonable person really would, but nobody knows what you're really going through. And you might throw something outside and then the police try to come by, somebody say, "Oh, that person's doing this." And they try to find a reason to do what they want to already do to you. So it's like really testing you. And to me, it's illegal. It's illegal to be distressing somebody to such, a degree, to be distressing somebody, period. You're doing it on purpose and you're harassing them. You're trying to provoke them, really. One thing that one of my teachers used to say is, who's watching the watcher? So it's like you have people watching you and people who are supposed to be there for you, but who's watching those people? Who's making sure those people are doing their jobs? That's actually neutral and not connected in a way that they're going to be biased toward the people that they don't need to be biased toward. So let's see what else he's saying. Right. He just said they could come to you as a negative energy, as like a negative teacher. I've dealt with that too. It's like when you try to succeed and you try to do something positive, or like somebody might feel like you don't deserve it. You might have been an orphan, or you might have came up in a poor neighborhood and somehow you're excelling. Maybe you were doing bad at first and then all of a sudden you just started doing good. You were getting A's and A's, and you were studying, you were doing everything, and this person just for some reason feels like you don't deserve it. So then they start attacking you. They start um putting viruses on your computer. They start breaking into your house and getting people, maintenance men and stuff, to come in your house when you're not there. They're hardly ever in the classroom. You never know what they're doing. They leave and they don't tell people where they're going. I mean, you wear a certain scarf in the mirror, and then they come the next day with a scarf that looks just like it, and then they make a joke like, we're watching you, or I'm watching you, or something like that. It's like you just get this very evil demonic presence around you. Like you are being stalked. Like, this is what gang stalking is to me. So let's see what else he's saying. He's saying a lot of people are hosts to these evil spirits. And like I'm saying, I feel like the only way you could be a host is if you give it an invitation. I mean, if you give it no place and no power, there's no way that it has a resting space and that it can be active. But I mean, the devil's gonna sit where it's comfortable at. You know what I'm saying? If you allow the devil to reside in you, then you just created a home for the devil. So basically, if those people aren't working on cleaning their home and making it a place for God, and you know what I'm saying, getting their hearts ready, then it's partly their fault. I can't just see somebody purely blaming it on the spiritual wickedness and in high and low places. You are in control of your body. You are in control of what you let in and out. You have a say, and God teaches you many ways that you can conquer these type of things. So to me, I'm not gonna make an excuse for those people. Now, especially if somebody points it out to you, you really need to change what you're doing. You need to change. He's saying that because sometimes you might not know, and I feel like that's hard. How could you not know? You know if you're being evil to people. You know if you're being rude to people. You know if people are scared of you. That's how I feel. You know when you're catching the attitude. I mean, the only way that you couldn't know is if you're so far deep into being evil that you just shut everything and everybody out and you're in your own little zone. I mean, you would have had to let so much evil manifest that you can't see all the stuff you're covered up in. It's like getting a dirty room and you just let it pile up and pile up so you don't even know what's on the floor anymore. I mean, it's almost impossible not to see it. He says, why do they have evil looks on their face? And they don't know why. It's because they're being controlled. I mean, for me, it's like I think that, like I said, you've gotten way in too deep. You let it manifest so long. When you can't recognize that you're sitting here like and looking at somebody like, and you can never smile and you're never happy, how could you not recognize that? Like, to me, that's a psychological problem and it's a physical problem. It's like, to me, it's almost impossible to not know that. And I think that, yeah, it's easier when you're like depressed, I guess, and when you're trying to relax and you got so much stress, then maybe you can look just like basic all the time and just like and not have a smile on your face. And I think that's more normal than just purely looking mean, never having any happy expressions. Because there's people who look like that because they've been stressed and they work all day. But when you first see them, they're like, "Hey," or they're like, "What's going on?" Or they'll start some conversation where for a moment there's that happiness. And I'm talking about these people who make it seem like they cannot smile. They forgot how to smile. They look like they feel uncomfortable when other people are happy. So let's finish. He said he's about to get deep into this. I mean, honestly, just talking about it gives me a headache. So that's why I wouldn't even try to dwell on it just besides to vent. Okay, he's saying that you can't, these people might not know who they are, and you can't tell them who they are because it's breaking the universal law. Now, I don't understand that part, but I think that you can help somebody discover who they are and you can hint to people how they're acting and you can help bring them out of those type of things. But I think that there's just some people that are like donkeys. They won't move. They're stubborn. They're very involved with the manifestation that they've let taken over. It's like I said, they're uncomfortable. It doesn't even make them comfortable to be happy. They're so used to being mundane and sad and depressed and angry that they like it. Maybe that's unconscious, but they're so comfortable with it. It takes a powerful person to say, I'm going to change. I want to be a happy person. I don't want to be like this. I'm not attracting the right people. You have to, just like you read a book, you have to read yourself. Just like you edit a page in a journal, you need to edit yourself constantly. You're responsible for yourself. You're responsible for your own happiness. Some people can come and mess that up, but you can control the parts that you can control. So let's finish seeing what else he's saying. He said he had to find out who he was on his own. I mean, finding out who you are is, to me, it's not as hard as it seems. Like you, first of all, the basics is, do you believe you're a good person or a bad person? Are you a happy person or are you a sad person? Like, how are you making other people feel? How do you want to make other people feel? Then it's like you are discovering who you are every day. So it's not like you're gonna find it all out in one session, in in one day. in 1 week, in 1 month. You discover more and more what type of person you are. If you have good intuition and you don't use it well, you find that out about you. Once you begin to use your intuition well, you find out how powerful you are when you begin to use your intuition well. You're constantly changing. You see what it's like when you're consistent with using your intuition well. You see how you are when you're upset, when you didn't use it well. I mean, you're constantly evolving, you're constantly changing. You find out what food do I really like? Okay, well, I never tried this food. I mean, you're just constantly changing as a person. What type of people do I like? This and that. So, self discovery to me is every day because every day is different. Every day is changing. There are some principles about yourself that you are going to know. Like if you're allergic to something, you know that. There's nothing to change with that. He said you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. That's why they put fluoride in the water to make your brain get so something is wrong with some of the water sometimes. So, but that's evil within itself. Okay, why would somebody be putting something in your water to make your brain smaller? These are advocates of the devil. That's gang stalking too. In your food, in your drinks, in your water. Like that's a huge type of gang stalking because it's like the people depend on certain people to make these products. People can't always be at the manufacturer. People can't always watch these products being developed. So at any time, it's like these people could try to turn on the majority. That's gang stalking as well to me. Maybe not as stalking, but it's controlling, gang controlling, you know, these people taking advantage of them. You are not following what God would do. So I mean, that's just being a bad person. That's just being evil and wicked and trying to control people. To dumbing people down, dumbing yourself down so you don't even know what's going on. He said he's breaking it down. That's just short or sweet. What I'm saying is, I mean, if you're the type of person that would dumb yourself down because you're basically a depressed person, you probably have something good in you and you gave up. Why would you dumb yourself down? Those are like people who I don't want to read the Bible or I don't want to read this scripture or text because I don't want to have knowledge because then I'll be accountable. That's not really smart because if God is truly God, whom I believe He is, and He is everything that He says He is, then He's going to know what you're doing. So at the end, you're just playing yourself. Why would you do that? The only knowledge people don't really want to know is right bad things, but in the end, it's still going to affect you in the same bad way. You're not really running from anything. The only way to run away from a problem is to solve it, but to constantly work on it. Okay, now it's talking about the sunlight, how it's good for you. Even the sunlight, right? Okay, say the sunlight is good. We have another type of gang stalking that he just brought to my attention when he mentioned the sunlight. There's people I was sitting outside the other day enjoying the sunlight and there's white streaks in the sky, which we all know is weather modification. And so there's gang stalking like that. You'll be sitting outside, and then all of a sudden you'll be enjoying the day, and then all of a sudden there'll be planes flying over you, spraying something in the sky to make the sun go away. or to make it cold outside. That's another way of stalking people, gang stalking, because then you ask, how did you know I was outside? Who called you? How the heck did you know that I was right here? What is going on? Is there some type of agents that are looking like human beings that are down here and they're phoning you and saying, hey, this girl's outside singing and celebrating the sun. Bring the planes. Bring them now. Like there's somebody truly working for the devil, and I mean they're more than watching. They're like bugs on the wall. Like they're it's just crazy, insane. Let's see what else he's gonna say. And he's talking about fluoride and heavy metals. And this is why more African Americans need to be chemists. They need to understand chemistry. Nobody really knew. A lot of young baby boomers and people born in the 80s and 90s, they're really in up really weren't focused on chemistry like they should be. And you really should be focused on chemistry because it's so many other cultures that know all this stuff, and that's why they think there's something up with you. You don't know enough because you didn't take an interest. Nobody ever related it to you. So you never really wanted to obtain that knowledge like you should have, but it's very, very much related to you. Let's see what else he's saying. You could be with a friend that you know is human, and you go somewhere and you're chilling by yourself. Okay, so what happens? It's empty, right? Okay. I know what he's talking about. And then he's basically saying you're at the park and nobody's there. And then all of a sudden, when you get there, a whole bunch of other people will start showing up. Yeah, that has happened and that is weird. One, it could be that you're just a trendsetter, but also, even if you are, it's probably some people mixed up in that are just purely watching you and trying to see exactly what's going on. And maybe even people who are trying to make sure you don't have a peace of mind. And it is strange because it's like, it feels like a military of people, like I said, that are just on guard and ready as soon as you go somewhere and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna," you're like, "Are these people fans or are these people like a military of people trying to harass me and bother me?" So it's like I understand what he's saying, but he sees that as gang stalking and evil spirits watching you. And I do believe him to a certain extent because, like I said, it just all happened so quickly. And it's like, how do you know that I'm here? And, it just happened so quickly. But nowadays, people can track your technology. The question is like, who's doing it and why are they doing it? Or I got a good example. Like, for instance, you'll go to the grocery store or you'll go somewhere and you're in a parking lot and it's like, you know how a parking lot works. Ever since you were young, you ever since you were young, you've been observing parking lots. Because you're the type of person who, when you were young, you used to sit in the car, let your mom go in the store. You're like the only person in the parking lot, right? But then all of a sudden, as you're older, you notice when you park somewhere, somebody's parked right next to you and they're sitting in their car. And it might be somebody else sitting on the other side of you. It's like now you notice there's always somebody just sitting in the parking lot, like making you feel like, are they gonna try to rob me when I go in the store? Making you feel like you have to check your car, make sure everything's fine. Like it's just weird because it's always somebody sitting there, or like it's at a place where you know somebody would not be sitting in their car. It's like the beauty supply. Like which woman sits in the car during the beauty supply? It's like they're going in there. They're not going in there. They're not going in there though. They're just sitting in their car. It's like the strangest thing. And then it makes you feel really uncomfortable because, like the food example I gave, when you go to like a fast food and you see the type of people there that maybe you were talking about and you didn't really want around you, or you're going through a certain situation and then they like all show up, it also makes you feel like, are they poisoning my food, dude? Because they know that somebody knows that I'm coming here, and then it makes you paranoid about your food, especially if you have had food incidences. It's just like you feel totally like somebody's just watching you so hard, like or for example, to elaborate on that food issue, like when you know how customer service is. When you walk in, they say, "Hello, how are you doing? Welcome here and here," and then they get your food. But when you walk in and then they like get on their cell phone and then they're acting like their phone call is more important than you, it's weird. Or like you see the food in front of you and you're like, "Oh, what is that?" Because I want whatever is in front of me. And they're like, "Oh, that's not good. That was from the morning time. Let me go get you something from the back." And you're like, no, I don't want anything from the back. Just give me whatever that is right there. And you eat it and now it's fine." So now you're like, well, why were they answering the phone call? Why are they making it seem like it was more important than me? And why are they trying to give me something from the back? And I'm very particular about my food now because one time I went to this gas station and these ladies were there. They were black ladies, and I thought it was really awkward that they were being so nice. And they're like, "Oh, baby, you're gonna eat this. You're gonna love this. You're gonna come back every morning." And she told me that. I said, "Well, can I get the bacon and egg sandwich?" And she told me, "Oh, we don't have those ready." She had some in foil, and then she was like, "Well, we don't have any of those ready. We're gonna I need to go to the back to get yours." I ate that sandwich, and I was sick for like 2 days, and it was nothing pretty. And so now I'm always paranoid when I go somewhere and if like there's a spot on my food and or like somebody's trying to pick my food out a little too much, like you just put some hot food right here, but you want to give me the older one, like, hey, my body's hurting now. I don't feel good. What did you do to me? Like it just makes you more paranoid and more prone to feeling like something's not right. So it's like I have to be picky, like, I don't want that one. I want this one. No, I don't want that one. I want this one. Or sometimes you just don't even feel comfortable. You just gotta leave. So I mean, it's gotten to the point where I don't even trust really the grocery stores that much anymore. I don't trust fast food as much anymore. I don't really trust anything because it's like these agents or these people that are these gang stalkers, they're just showing up. It's weird. So let's see what else he's gonna say. He says the whole crowd of people show up at the park. You're about to watch TV and you're at home. Okay. Oh yeah. I know he's gonna say. I remember this part. He's talking about how all of a sudden you watch TV, you're minding your business, and then all of a sudden other people want to watch TV and other people are doing this. It's kind of like a boyfriend thing. Like you picked this guy who was really average. Nobody was attracted to him. And then all of a sudden, when you became attracted to him, all these girls started coming out the woodworks like, "Oh, I like him. I like him too. I like him too." It's like they want a piece of what you have, or they just want to either distract you or stand in your way, or now they're trying to piggyback off of what you're doing. It's like really annoying. He's trying to say that's like gang stalking. Like all of a sudden these women are interested, or all of a sudden now that I'm watching TV, you want to watch TV, or now you know what I'm saying? It's not like a little brother or sister who's doing everything that you're doing. It's just like more of a strange type occurrence and annoyance. He says that's a form of gang stalking. Or now he's saying you're in the shower and all of a sudden all of a sudden nobody wanted to use the restroom, and then when you had to go, now they have to use the restroom, right? Or like even people they it's like they start timing you. Like they almost can feel like when you want to do something or you're about to do something. So they hurry up and they rush in there instead. Or they know, oh, you about to have company or something like that. So then they go in there and they take a shower and they take forever. He's saying that's also a form of gang stalking. And like I said, like when you're about to get ready to leave the house and it seems like a whole bunch of cars are like moving at the same time and they weren't moving at first. Like, but there could be a shootout. There could be a shootout one day and then there's nobody around. And you're like, it's the only one around. So then you're like, okay, what is going on here? It just kind of feels like a big conspiracy or something. Like, and I'm drinking a Snapple. Oh, I'm scared. It's like we don't really have control over things anymore. And then, okay, here's another example. You go to a grocery store. You go, like for me, I'll go to a Mexican grocery store. There's nobody really there but Mexicans. And then all of a sudden you go and then different people start coming, more black people. I usually don't see white people go there, but maybe even Middle Eastern people. And then like the fruit is good, everything is delicious. You're so happy you found a place, and then all of a sudden, it's like somebody starts messing with the power lines, or somebody starts parking on the side, like they're watching. It's almost like they're watching the store, and they're creating this road work where they're like really watching the store, and then all of a sudden, a couple weeks later, the fruit is not even good anymore. It's like somebody injected the bananas and somebody injected the oranges, and like it's not even the same anymore. It's like they're watching you to attack you and to make you like not have the things that you need to nourish your body, which makes me think like, are these people, dude? Because where are they going to get their food? And if you can easily destroy food and destroy people's things, like what are you doing to live and survive? Who would do that to a person? That's just weird. So I'm like, either you're just not a human being and you're able to live a different way. You don't need food. You don't need the sunlight. You don't need any of those things that nourishes people's body. You're just completely modified. So therefore, you wouldn't really care about what a human being would need. So I'm trying to figure out, what's going on, and I'm just saying that I do. He's saying this is gang stalking, where evil spirits are sent to watch you. His name is Joey, and this is the video that I was responding to. I'm gonna see if I can do a split video and maybe put his next to mine. Hopefully, I don't get any copyright infringement or anything like that. But for the most part, I've just used it as a learning avenue. I'm not just, watching the video and saying everything that he's saying. I'm giving feedback. I'm responding to what he's saying, and I'm giving you a different perspective on how to look at it. And I'm also sharing with you my experiences that I've gone through as well. So Anybody who's being gang stalked, I feel really bad for you. And I just pray that God is with you and that you have the strength to continue to, be a strong person and to continue to have faith. And don't get so mad that, you do something crazy, because I believe that's what the gang stalkers want you to do. I think that you should find a way to vent it out and make a report of it. You have to do what you have to do to survive and make sure nobody has the right to harm you. You have the right to a good quality of life and liberty. And so I just encourage you to continue to keep your head up. And what I'm saying, there's a lot of bullying going on, and to me, gang stalking is a part of that. That's what gang stalking is. When a group of people are organizing things to where they're timing things when you're timing things so that they could be in your face and that they could harass you. This should not be happening to anybody. And if it is happening to you, I believe that you should be reporting it to somebody that actually has the power to do something, or you should be talking about it. Because one thing that you shouldn't do is be isolated, keep it to yourself, and not let people know what's going on. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. And if anybody has anything that they want to add to it, any questions, any comments, please be sure to comment. And thank you. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.